Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC and today I'm checking out my first ever race gate. Now these are from Gearbest.com. It looks like they resell them on behalf of FPV Model though. And I know what you're thinking, race gate and not race gates. Yes, I have just got the one for a couple of reasons. First one is price. These are expensive. The thing is though, they are really robust. This is a good quality one and it's made out of a kind of tent material, but it's a strong material, so you can fly at it all you like with your very sharp propellers and it's not going to rip. That's what I found anyway. It's also not going to collapse and it's not going to get blown down in the wind either. Now another reason for just getting the one is I have found that it is really useful for practicing. So I have been doing this channel a while now and I'm worried that I'm going to get invited to one of these events and I've never flown through a race gate before, and I found that just having the one is perfect because you can come at it from all sorts of different angles. You can try stunts through it, so power loops, you can crash into it as much as you like, and I found it to be really useful and it's quite exhilarating the first time I went through one of these gates. Anyways, let's check what you get with this one. It comes in this nice little pouch here, much like a tent would, and it is just like building a tent. So let's get this open and see what you get inside. So it's just got a zip here, and first of all we've got the cloth, so I'm just going to unravel that. Okay, and then just unravel the gate. Now the first thing I noticed with this is it's absolutely huge. Just trying to unravel it here. So the first thing I thought is that I'm going to build this in the garden and then move it over to the field so I don't look like a wally whilst building it up. Don't do that. It is very much like building a tent and then trying to move it somewhere else. Keep it in this pouch here and then just set it up where you are. It's so much easier, honestly. Right, so I've unraveled that, and then in here you get given this, which is a long big pole that goes through the top there, so you have to construct this. Now it is connected together by this elastic wire here, and those just all go in there like this. I wish they did stay together a little bit easier, these, I have to say, because when trying to dismantle it, all these come out and it's quite difficult to take them out. So just a small thing, but in general it's been pretty nice to build. Look how long this thing is. Don't try and set it up inside. That is a downside of this, really. It'd be quite difficult to set up on anything other than grass because we've got pegs and things like that we're relying on. So you can see at this end here there is a smaller rod than at that end, and that's important, I found. So what we have to do now is take the end of the rod here, and if you look on here we've got two bits of black at the top. This is for the bottom end of the pole, and then the top end of the pole goes all the way through here, so I will show you that. So that just goes through there like that and just feeds through, and then it slowly starts to bend round as we push it through. I'm pushing it until it comes out of the other end. Now it's important to have this shorter end here at this side, and you'll see why in a bit. So that's come out the other end there. I'm just going to move over here, and I've actually pushed it too far. Let's push it back a bit, and then this goes into this end here, and then push that through as well. Okay, and you then grab this end of it and push it round, and you're left with this little tiny part here, and you disconnect that, and then this is quite tricky to do. I'll just lay it on the ground, and then that gets pushed into here a bit fiddly, so you push that into this one. This is another reason for not buying loads of them straight away, is there's definitely some time to construct, and if you're on your own you could be there a while. So you see that there, just slotted that one in. I think it's gotten stuck on the material actually. There we go. That's fitted there, and you can see there that it's now rounded like that, you see. So the next thing that we do is we have got these two poles here, and these are sort of like spacer poles. So within here you've got some more slots for those to go into. I can find them. Goes between the black there, that's it. And then that one, like so. Starts to look a bit like a kite at this point. And then in this side. Now I know you're probably thinking there's a lot of construction here, but there's a point to it so that it's not going to collapse. This thing's going to be sturdy. Okay, so then we get given some tent pegs in a nice pouch here, and I'm just going to take a couple out and then hold it up like this, just swivel around that base there, and then this one too. And you see you have this to connect in the middle as well, so you're going to want to force that through the other side. And then let's choose a place where I can put it where there's no concrete, otherwise your pegs won't have a place to go. So one peg there, doesn't quite touch the bottom there, that's this garden. One peg there, over this side. One peg there, one peg there. I haven't quite set it off straight there. I'll sort that out in a minute. And there should be a peg underneath here as well. So one there. Let's just straighten this up a little bit if I can. And then you want to connect this middle thing here, and that pulls it tight like that. And then the last peg here at the back. Very nice. This one just needs to, these pegs come off here. That's it. This one could probably do with going a little bit lower, like so. And there we go. One race gate. So it does take some time to set up. This thing is huge, you know, this isn't a small garden, so you're going to need a big space to fly through this. So I'm going to take it out on the field, dismantle it of course, and then do some flying through it. So here we are on board with the X210, which I built recently on the channel, and this is the DVR footage first of all, and this is my first go through an air gate, and it was pretty uneventful. Now I have been practicing on a simulator. I use the FPV event simulator, which I think is just the best for practicing with these air gates. Of course you can use liftoff and all of the other simulators, but I seem to find the FPV event simulator the most realistic, especially when it comes to flying through gates. So I've switched to the HD footage there. This is a GoPro 4, and it's just about building the speed up now, making sure that I'm not hitting anything. One thing that did take a little bit of time getting used to is how low you have to be. I'm not usually used to flying these quadcopters so low. And I go for my first power loop there, and I don't loop round far enough. So what I'm trying to do is fly underneath the gate and then loop around and then loop back into it. And this time I go for too much power, and you can see that I have looped too far over, but I do make it through the gate. And already I'm starting to get confident with it. You have to remember, this is the first of many flights that I plan to do with gates. I have ordered some more, but I was having a lot of fun just coming at these from different angles and trying different stunts. And one thing that I want to do is loop underneath one, so fly over the top of it flip over and loop underneath. That's not something that I tried out here. I was just trying to crack these loops. That was a better one, but not quite. The idea is that you loop right round and then end up quite low and go through it. And again, that one was a little bit too early. So I got a lot of practicing to do, but I tell you what, this gate was worth the money. It was a lot of fun. And since this video, I have smashed into the gate quite a lot. In fact, I hit it somewhere in this video, and you'll see that in a bit. And there's no rips or tears or anything like that. Nearly hit the ground there. You can see that. I think this is where I hit it. I come in, there you go, I clipped it. Didn't even break a prop because the material is really soft. It's soft but strong, so it didn't damage the material at all, or the propeller, and it just kept on flying. I think that is important. So yeah, really enjoying this. Gonna have to get some more. Just trying to come at it from different angles and seeing when I can make it, when I can't make it. I do a really fast run here to see how quickly I can fly through it and how low I can get. And then loop around. Now, sadly, this session ended in a spectacular crash whilst I was trying to do one of those loops. I just love the VTX on this X210. Look at that, no breakup at all, even though I'm flying through hoops and stuff. I thought I'd show you the DVR footage as well. Just looping around them as best I can. Nearly making it, but a little bit too early. We are getting towards the end of the video now. And I do a horrendous crash. And it actually took me an hour and a half to find the GoPro. That's how far it flew, but the aircraft wasn't damaged and the gates weren't damaged. The only thing that was damaged was my pride. So as I'm getting a little bit more cocky doing these loops, inevitably it's going to go wrong at some point. So there you go, that is my review of the air gates or race gates from Gearbest.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.